The key to designing a rectangular garden is to soften the harsh lines and create a sense of flow. Here are some effective ways to achieve this. Curvy paths. Opt for a winding path that meanders through your garden. This adds a sense of discovery and makes the space feel larger. Use pebbles, gravel, or stepping stones to create the path, incorporating curves and gentle angles. Diagonal beds. Straight rows of plants can emphasize the rectangle. Instead, create diagonal planting beds that intersect the path. This breaks up the long lines and creates visual interest. Raised garden beds. Elevate your planting with raised beds. These come in various shapes and sizes, allowing you to create a more dynamic layout. Plus, raised beds offer better drainage and easier access for planting. Pl- Creating zones. Rectangular gardens can be easily divided into distinct areas to suit your needs. Here are some zone ideas. Sitting area. Carve out a cozy spot for relaxation. Place a comfortable bench swing or a bistro set under a pergola or shade tree. Add throw pillows and colorful planters for a touch of personality. Dining area. Enjoy alfresco meals in your own garden. Create a designated dining space with a patio table and chairs. String some fairy lights overhead for a good ambience. Vegetable patch. Maximize your harvest with a designated vegetable garden. Group similar vegetables together for easier maintenance. Consider raised beds or vertical gardening options for space saving efficiency. Pollinator space. Attract butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds by planting a pollinator garden. Choose over Choose flowering plants in various colors, shapes, and bloom times to create a year-round feast for pollinators. Adding visual interest. Once you have a basic layout, it is time to inject personality. Here are some elements to consider. Water feature. The soothing sound of water can transform your garden. A small pond, a cascading fountain, or even a bird bath adds a touch of tranquility and attracts wildlife. Vertical elements. Don't limit yourself to ground level planting. Utilize walls, fences, and trellises with climbing plants, hanging baskets, and vertical planters. This creates a sense of abundance and maximizes space. Focal point. Draw the eye to specific areas with eye catching focal points. A vibrant flowering tree or even a colorful mailbox can serve this purpose. Lighting. Extend the enjoyment of your garden into the evening with strategic lighting, solar path lights, string lights, or spotlights on key features. Create a good ambience and make your garden usable for long periods. Plant choices for rectangular gardens. When selecting plants for your rectangular garden, consider these tips. Play with scale. Use a mix of plant heights to create a layered effect. Taller plants in the back can provide privacy and a backdrop for smaller flowering shrubs and perennials in the middle. Flower power include plenty of flowering plants for bursts of color throughout the season. Opt for varieties with different bloom times to ensure your garden is always in bloom. Evergreen appeal. Balance your colorful displays with evergreens that provide year-round structure and interest. Think outside the box. Rectangular planters or containers in unique shapes can add a good touch and break up the straight lines. Pro tips for rectangular gardens. Mirror on the wall. Opt for weatherproof mirrors and position them to reflect interesting garden features or open areas. The power of stripes. Paint horizontal stripes on your fences or use striped rugs in your sitting area. This creates a visual interest that widens the space. Go beyond with borders. Instead of a plain fence, consider a decorative border with climbing plants or colorful paint. This adds visual interest and defines the garden space. Don't forget the floor. Utilize outdoor rugs to define seating area and add a pop of color. Choose weatherproof materials and patterns.